Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video, we'll be doing the review for this Honor 5X, which is sort of a mid-range entry-level Android device from Huawei. And this unit sells in India for rupees 13,000, and it's available both on Flipkart as well as on Amazon India. I'll have the links in the show notes. And I have been testing this device now for almost 10 odd days, and I'll give you my pros and cons and my summary. But before that, let me give you a specs overview. This Honor 5X is powered by the new Snapdragon 616 chipset, which is an Octa Core processor based on the ARM Cortex A53 architecture. It sports a 5.5-inch 1080p screen. It has the Adreno 405 GPU, 2GB of RAM, 16GB of internal storage, microSD card support. The camera is a 13-megapixel camera, whereas the front-facing camera is a 5-megapixel shooter. It also has a fingerprint scanner, and the battery is sealed inside. So as you can see, this Honor 5X has some very decent specs and has that new Snapdragon 616 chipset. And I wouldn't say that the Snapdragon 616 is vastly superior to Snapdragon 615 in terms of speed, but I noticed that the Snapdragon 616 does not heat up that much as compared to the Snapdragon 615, and also the battery life is actually very good. I won't go in depth regarding this device, the physical overview and other aspects, because I have covered all those aspects in my unboxing video. You should check out that for more info. In this video, I'll directly jump to the pros and cons, and I'll give you the summary. And another thing that I really like on this device is that Huawei has included this fingerprint scanner, and I have to say the fingerprint scanner is actually very accurate on this, and it works without any issues, as you can see. Now let me divide this review between the pros and cons. First, let's go over the things that I did not like with this device. The first thing that I did not like with this device is the Emotion UI. It runs this custom UI, though in terms of functionality, this UI is pretty good, but I feel it's a little bit bloaty. With day-to-day usage, while doing multitasking and moving between the apps, etc., particularly if you open Chrome, etc., a lot, I did notice some UI lag and stutteriness at times. So it's not the smoothest in terms of UI. Again, it won't bother, but if you're very picky, yes, you might notice some UI lag here and there. Another thing that I've noticed is that it does not support USB OTG. And yes, I tried it with some third-party apps like ES File Explorer, then also it did not work. So USB OTG is not supported as of now. Also, I did notice that this speaker is a little bit on the tinny side. Don't get me wrong, in terms of loudness it's okay, but it sounds very tinny in my opinion. Also, in terms of camera, the rear facing camera is a 13 megapixel shooter, and when we have ample of lighting, the camera does a very good job, as you can see from the sample shots. But again, when we move to artificial lighting and indoor lighting, the camera really struggles, and it's pretty weak in my opinion. Also, as it has just 2GB of RAM and that heavy custom UI, out of that 2 gigs, you just get about 1 gig of RAM. And I noticed that it boots out the apps pretty frequently. For example, you like to use a third-party app called Glovebox, but I noticed that it was getting loaded out of the memory pretty frequently. So if you are sort of a power user, again, yes, the RAM management is not perfect on this device. Also, it does not have some sensors like gyroscope, so you can't use it with VR headsets or watch 360 degrees videos. Now let's move to the things that I really liked on this device. The first thing that I really liked on this device is the battery life. It has a 3000 milliamp hour battery, and the battery life that I was getting on this device is incredible. Even on completely when I was on mobile data, I was able to get around 4.5 to 5 hours of screen on time with the mobile. And on Wi-Fi, you can get over about 5.5 hours of screen on time. And with my normal usage, I had to charge it only once in 1.5 days. So the battery life is spectacular on this device. Also, in terms of the display, we have this 1080p display on this device, and I have to say Huawei did a very good job in terms of the panel they have used. So it's a very good quality 1080p display with excellent viewing angles. Also, I've already mentioned it has that new Snapdragon 616 chipset, so it did not exhibit any issues of overheating. Also, as I've already mentioned, the fingerprint scanner works really well on this device. Also, in terms of gaming, the gaming performance was actually pretty good, and it could run most of the heavy games also without any issues. Yes, I noticed some minor frame drops here and there, But for the most part, I feel the gaming performance was also very good on this device. Also, when we talk about the build quality is really good. The back is actually made up of metal, so it gives a good feel in the hand. Also, in terms of cellular call quality, I have to say the cellular call quality that I got with this device was again excellent. I had no issues of network reception and the calls were crystal clear. So these were the pros of this device. Now let me give you a summary and the rating. If I have to rate the screen, I would rate it 9 out of 10. Moving to the general performance, I would give it a rating of 7.5 out of 10. It loses a little bit of points due to that UI lag that I noticed at times. In terms of camera performance, which was the weakest, I would say, because it did pretty poor in artificial lighting, I would rate it 6 out of 10. In terms of battery life, it was excellent, so I have to give it 10 out of 10. In terms of styling, build quality and features, I have to give it 8.5 out of 10. And moving to price to performance ratio, I would say I would give it 8.5 out of 10. So overall rating of about 8 out of 10. So to summarize, I would say this Honor 5X is an excellent Android phone. Particularly, it excels in terms of battery life and cellular call quality, but it has no USB OTG support and a very average camera, and also exhibits minor UI lag. I've also posted other videos on this Honor 5X, so you can check them out for more info. And I've also compared it with these other popular devices like the LE1S and the Lenovo K4 Note. So again, links for those videos will also be in the YouTube show notes. I hope that you found this video review helpful. So if you found it helpful, I'll appreciate if you can click the like button. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit and I hope to see you in my next video.